Hello, this is Kevin Mann. Welcome to Express, Represent, Take on the Role. You see this picture of a violinist with some school kids. You don't really know whether this is a serious violinist or maybe a middle school teacher who's just playing around. If I show you the same violinist, a picture of him playing at the White House on the left and on an album cover of some classical music, suddenly you realize this is Joshua Bell, one of the best violinists in the world. But what would happen if he showed up, let's say, in jeans and a t-shirt at a subway station and played that same fantastic music that he would play for the president or for discerning music lovers? Would people notice that he was one of the world's greatest violinists? Well, in 2007, he tried that experiment. So at the same time, he was giving concerts at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., one of the most well-respected concert halls in the country. He played at the Washington Metro, and basically only a couple of people stopped. He played during rush hour, and people just went walking by, paying almost no attention to him. This really shows the importance of people getting these cues about who you are and what you represent. Ronald Reagan is very interesting in the way that he dressed. He dressed for the occasion. You could see him in a different outfit depending on the situation. That's just the way he was, dressed for the situation. Barack Obama almost always will wear the same suit and tie, or suit, maybe with a few different ties, but it's almost always the same. So very uniform style. We see tech CEOs, very powerful people, dressed in jeans and no tie, sometimes even with tennis shoes, very, very informal. So that's like the opposite end of the formality scale from what we see with the presidents. Walmart, this is an interesting picture from their annual report. You can see that they have a very uniform style. There's only one person who stands out in the brown suit. That's Jim Walton, youngest son of Sam Walton in the brown suit. If you're with an organization that has this very uniform style, unless you're the son of the founder, you probably don't want to be wearing the brown suit, right? You want to fit in with the rest of the organization. Even more extreme would be an organization like Qantas, which is coming from the military background of flying aircraft, and of course they have this very uniform-oriented style. VF Corporation, here's their board of directors, and you can notice they own the North Face and Wrangler. So these are both outdoor-oriented brands, and what you see is a much more informal style here, fairly uniform still, but more informal, and only one person is wearing a tie. Not-for-profits, even more informal. So that can be confusing. Formality and uniformity, the two things that you see a big range in. So my quick advice here is grooming. You just don't want people to be distracted by your grooming. So get your hair cut, your fingernails trimmed, whatever you need so that people aren't going to be thinking about your grooming. And in formality, that's the suit to the jeans and t-shirt level, right? Just think about how formal the organization is that you're going to be meeting with, and try to be at or just a tiny bit above what you think their formality level is. And uniformity is something to pay attention to also. It's not just informal, because sometimes people can be informal but also wear a kind of uniform, like It could be very informal, but everyone is wearing jeans, for example. And in that case, you want to try to fit in with basically how they're dressing, just so that people aren't focused on that. Okay, that was quick, but just something to get right. So let's go on to the next module.